Hello everyone, I am back and today we are building an old fisherman's cottage, and this is a nice short sweet video today because it's such a little build, which has worked out quite well to be honest, because I've had a cold the past couple of days, so I'm a little bit bunged up. So if I'm sounding a little funky, that's why, and I do apologise. But I'm hoping we can get through this video for the next 10-15 minutes without sneezing or sniffling, because that would be really annoying. But yeah, so hopefully we manage that. I guess I'll find out when I listen back to the recording at the end. But yeah, so building a little fisherman's cottage down in Windenburg on the slot, which is really perfect for this kind of build. It sort of goes out onto the sea. It's got like a little beach area. It's a really cute lot, and a little bit like the lot in Windenburg Bay, which is also perfect for building like coastal cottages, I think, because it's so nice having that sort of like, it looks like the beach is just there and it just goes out to the sea, and obviously for like a fisherman, for his boat to be able to just like pull his boat out to the sea, it just makes a lot of sense. So yeah, really love this lot. And I built this fisherman's cottage sort of up on this bed of rocks to sort of create the idea that it's not on a cliff, but it's in sort of like a cliffy area. I imagine in real life this would be, because obviously it's a little bit strange, so it's just like no rocks and then suddenly like a house sat on a bed of rocks. But in real life I feel like it would be more like a house kind of not on a cliff, but that kind of idea, like that the whole area is quite rocky, but I didn't want to just obviously cover the whole lot in rocks because there isn't like loads and loads of rocks around. So I just put a few just so it kind of looks like it's naturally like on this bed of rocks. So hopefully that looks okay. And I'll be honest, I do spend quite a lot of time doing these rocks. Like I really faffed with them because I kind of wanted to hide as much as possible the foundations, because it was annoying me that you could like see it, and I wanted it to look like it was on rocks. Obviously you can have some still showing, but in general, yeah, I wanted to try and hide it as much as possible. So hopefully that's worked, and also stop the rocks from like creeping in, because obviously they creep in sometimes, don't they, to certain like spaces. So I was trying to like make sure they weren't in any of the rooms as I was going along. But yeah, so back here I'm making this sort of like, I'm going to call it a boat shed, where I imagine the fisherman keeps his boat and like pulls it out every day and puts it away every day, and it can just like sort of like rest on like the area in front. And I do actually terrain paint like all of, because at the moment it's like grass, but I do terrain paint it to try and make it match in with like the sand that's like trailing off from the beach, because I really love how that's just like sort of like trails into this lot, because it sort of like naturally blends. But of course, in usual Sims fashion, we don't have the exact matching sand. At least I don't think we do. Could be wrong, but I hope we don't, because I spent a long time trying to blend it in. So if we do, that's kind of embarrassing. But anyway, yeah, so I tried to blend it in as best I could by like using all different sands, a bit of dirt, just so it's not like, I find the sand terrains are very bright, and this is quite a dull sand, a more natural looking sand. So yeah, I was trying to like sort of like mix it all in together to sort of create a blend, a blend of sand. So yeah, hopefully that looks okay. And I do end up putting up a boat out there as well. I haven't put it out there yet, but when I find the one I want in debug, I do put that out there too. Oh, here it is. So yeah, so I just sort of like put it there, and I just imagine that he like, or she drags it out like from the sea every day when they've gone out to buy, like to get their fish. And yeah, so I thought it just like fits in quite nicely there. But yeah, so the other thing actually I was going to talk about today was I have been thinking about getting a proper mic, because at the moment I have been using just like this sort of like headset I have, which is okay, but obviously it's not great. And I know that like I've had some comments in some other videos about obviously volume and things, and I've tried to adjust the volume, so I think the volume is better now, but I know that like the actual like quality of the sound isn't like the best. So I have been looking online for like a mic, so yeah, it might take me a little bit of time to like decide because I am a bit new to this, so I'm just working out which is the best one to get. But hopefully in the next few videos, or the next few videos time, I have a better mic, so I sound a little bit better, because I know I sound like I'm talking out of a bucket sometimes with a bucket on my head. But yeah. hopefully I'll have a proper mic. So that's exciting. I'm still working on the exterior right now. It's crazy, like how I'd say I definitely spend more time on exteriors of builds. That is what I have come to the conclusion with recently. I love doing the exterior and I love doing the interior, but I do think the exterior, like, unless it has a really, really nice or like unusual, like I really like the layout I do inside of the build, I do really enjoy doing the exterior, I think, more. I think it's just because it's what you see, like, in real life first, if you know what I mean. So, like, if I see a build that I like in real life, I'm like, oh, that looks so nice, I want to recreate that. I kind of think that must be why. But yeah, I don't know, I've just always enjoyed doing the exteriors, I think, and adding little details and things. But we are finally on the interior now, and this is a kind of like, I want to call it like a boot room, where I imagine the fisherman like takes off his smelly fishy boots. It kind of would need that space, right, to like dump stuff. But it's funny because this is honestly like one of the biggest rooms in the house. I'm not even joking. What I love about like coastal cottages, I always think they're so like squished, like so small and cozy, and I really, really love that. You know, like low ceilings and like low door heights. But like the boot room in this house is like basically the size of, I mean, it's nearly the size of the kitchen, which is pretty extreme, but I don't know, I think it's quite sweet having that sort of like bump out on the front of the house, that kind of like porch vibe. So yeah. And you can see on the inside, like I keep like with the stone, I really, really love this stone. I know I use it in far too many of my builds, but I just love this stone flooring so much. And yeah, I sort of use it throughout downstairs, because I imagine it's like the original when it was first built. And using those like timber, well, it's like a wooden pillar, like instead of having like a railing down the stairs, a banister. Because I know I've mentioned it before, but it just always really annoys me that there's no like really, really nice stone like banister that can go with those stone steps. So, and it kind of, I don't know, I know that it could have like a wooden railing, but with like stone steps, but I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit strange. So yeah, I decided on doing that because I feel like I've seen that in cottages before, I think. So, and it kind of blends in with the like the wallpaper I've used throughout as well, so I keep that the same in every room. And I like to think that's just like kind of like the original, like having the timber exposed and then just like painted walls. I feel like that might be something that's just been kept original. It's definitely like a very cluttered house and like old, obviously, and they've just kind of like shoved everything in. Maybe perhaps they don't care that much about what their house is like looks like, if you know what I mean, because they spend most of their time outside on the sea, so their house is a little bit of a tip. But I don't know, I think it gives like fisherman-y vibes in the end. I really wanted to have the bathroom door coming from the kitchen because I feel like that's kind of where the door would be into the bathroom, but I just couldn't fit everything in, because obviously I still wanted like a back door as well. So yeah, I do end up moving the bathroom door into the lounge, which is fine, but I don't know, I just feel like that it's more likely to come off the bathroom, and that way as well, because originally I wasn't going to put a sink in the kitchen. I was just going to kind of have it like they have to go like to the bathroom to use the sink, which I know is really extreme, but it's a squished house. But actually moving the door meant like if they wanted to like wash up, they'd have to walk through the lounge to wash up, and I just felt like that was a little bit strange. So I managed to squeeze in a sink and then just have like the corner like slot of the kitchen cabinet. That's where you can like prepare food, because I can do it on the corner one. But yeah, so very squished kitchen, and of course mugs on display as per usual. But yeah, and I do end up as well, you might have noticed I originally had like a door. I was going to put a door into the kitchen, and I was going to put a door, I'm changing it now, into the boot room. But I really, really love those doors from the Cottage living pack, but they're almost too perfect, you know? I really like the style. It's like perfect for a cottage, obviously, but I don't know, they're just too like perfect. And I know there's the ones from Cats and Dogs, which are great as well, because they have that kind of swatch that's like, I don't know, a bit like more real looking wood, if you know what I mean. Like it's kind of got texture to it. These are quite flat in colour. But yeah, so in the end I end up actually just making, so the boot room kind of doesn't have a door into the lounge, it just is, I make like an archway, if you know what I mean, using the pillars and then like a bit of trim above the pillars to kind of create the look of it, that there's an archway there. But I just kind of wanted it to feel like it was one big space going all the way through to the kitchen, but like through these like kind of natural divides. But yeah, so on to the upstairs now, and it's just two very squished, again squished, theme of the build, bedrooms. And I did really want to put fireplaces in these rooms, because obviously there is the chimney like going all the way up, obviously because there's a fireplace in the lounge, but I just, yeah, it would just be too much of a squish. I did think about putting them and then like the bed almost being shoved in front of them, because I feel like that would be something people would do if there wasn't space but you had this like fireplace. But in the end I decided they just had them like maybe boarded up or something just for more space, or they're just, yeah, so like imagine they're like behind that wall, that they've just been like covered up. But yeah, and I was thinking about obviously having just one bedroom in this house because it's so small, but I just felt like, because then I could have also had the bathroom upstairs, but I feel like really, really old cottages or old houses have the bathroom downstairs or even the bathroom outside, because you might have noticed I put like there is like a little tiny, I don't want to call it room, but I mean it's like a 3-tile room downstairs underneath where there's like outside steps. And in my mind that probably was like the original like bathroom maybe with the door outside, but I do make that into like a little tiny utility space, which you'll see in a minute. But I wanted to make sure the bathroom was downstairs because I felt like that was the original, and then I felt like there would just be this like massive bedroom upstairs, which is a little bit, I don't know, overkill for the size of the downstairs to just have one bedroom. So I ended up doing two, and one of them has like a kind of little desky area, so that would be like the spare room, and then the main bedroom is the one with the like sort of like nicer looking bed. But yeah, so this is what I was talking about, this kind of like little, I'm going to call it utility cupboard. I don't really know what I was thinking I was going to put in here. I did nearly put another toilet in there, but I felt like we don't need another toilet for such a small build. But yeah, so just put a washer and dryer in there. I feel like it's something they've renovated, you know, that's one thing they've renovated a little bit. But yeah, so this is it, the little fisherman's cottage, and I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.